For the past few months, I've been deep in rebuilding the channel, from finishing off my mix courses, physically finishing the studio, finishing client mixes, building my side carts and sound treatment, and all the while, I've been testing and working with the complete lineup of what Quagliardi Audio has to offer to the pro audio community. If you're new here, my name is Steve Kinney, producer, engineer, and content creator based out of Nashville, Tennessee. Like and subscribe, and most importantly, comment below. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to continue to put out spotlight content like this. To support the channel further, discover my new mix courses, or to book one-on-one time with me directly, go to thestevekinney.com. So let's talk about all of the lineup and all of the pieces of kit that we're gonna be looking at today. First up will be the 501 preamp and the 576 compressor. And to power the units, we're gonna look at all three available chassis, including the Power Grid 2, 10, and the Power Grid Duo. Finally, to manage signals under any condition, we'll dive into the Qlifter and the Colorbox DI. Earlier in the year, I took a look at the Quagliardi producer kit package where I briefly discussed this preamp, so if you're curious, be sure to check that video out after this spotlight. The 501 is a fast, clean preamp designed to deliver transparent yet colorful audio in the 500 series format. It features an XLR combo jack on the front panel, as well as both an input and output controls, a VU meter, and offers a powerful 78 dB of gain, which allows you to both saturate its transformers and its op amp for added character. Finally, to further shape the tone, it features Quagliardi's signature XREL function shared with the 576 compressor, which allows for further tonal shaping through impedance variation. Now let's briefly take a look at this in action.
Here's a hard honker man who wrote me in before I could think about what my mama told me about the birds and the bees and how cowboys won't stay long. But I met my hubby in a honky tonk. Here's a hard honker man who wrote me in before I could think about what my mama told me about the birds and the bees and how cowboys won't stay long. But I met my hubby in a honky tonk. Here's a hard honker man who wrote me in before I could think about what my mama told me about the birds and the bees and how cowboys won't stay long. But I met my hubby in a honky tonk. Here's a hard honker man who wrote me in before I could think about what my mama told me about the birds and the bees and how cowboys won't stay long. But I met my hubby in a honky tonk. Here's a hard honker man who wrote me in before I could think about what my mama told me about the birds and the bees and how cowboys won't stay long. But I met my hubby in a honky tonk.
Next, the 576 is a 500 series compressor with a twist. While it's built around the typical FET style compression, its internal architecture is actually hybrid, giving it a very unique character. It features all of the expected controls for a 76 style compressor, attack, release, in-out gain, and your typical ratios. But what's unique to the 576 and what you won't find elsewhere on a 76 style compressor is the XREL mode, a proprietary Quagliardi function that alters the input impedance, effectively changing the color of the unit. Additionally, another distinctive mode, Boom, which is a compander type function that expands everything below the threshold and compresses everything above it. Now this feature is very, very unique, so let me know in the comments what you think of this design choice. Finally, to top the 576 off, and this is how you know that Quagliardi is keeping pros in mind, if the unit fails or powers down, there's an automatic relay that hard bypasses the circuit, ensuring audio still passes through. So no matter the situation, you're not gonna lose signal, which is just a really thoughtful design. I haven't seen anything like that or the boom feature on an 1176. It's really cool. So let's listen in on the magic of the 576.
Playing it cool, but he was trying hard. But the moment that he stole my heart was when he asked me to dance. Here's a two-stepping tall glass of water, honey, I wanna drink. Here's a hot hunk of men who want me in before I could think. About what my mama told me about the birds and the bees and how cowboys won't stay long. But I'm in my hubby.
So with this boom feature, just listen to how in this next playback example, how the very ends of the words get really exaggerated, and it's not quite like the all-ins button mode sound. It's something different, and it's really kind of unique. I could see this being very valuable in the situation of like rock and heavy rock, modern rock.
Playing it cool, but he was trying hard. But the moment that he stole my heart was when he asked me to dance. Here's a two-stepping tall glass of water, honey, I wanna drink. Here's a hot hunk of men who want me in before I could think. About what my mama told me about the birds and the bees and how cowboys won't stay long. But I'm in my hubby.
Now again, one of my favorite things about this is that it has a dry wet knob built into the front face of the compressor, so you can do parallel compression really easily. Check this out.
I could think about what my mama told me about the birds and the bees and how cowboys won't stay long. But I met my hubby in a honky tonk.
So as you dial back the dry wet knob, you're still running it through the transformers, etc., and you're starting to get that drive sound imparted as well. So when you do the blend knob, you're kind of getting this amalgamation of distortion and overdriven sound and saturated sound plus the compression, and it's just a totally unique sounding controlled vocal.
Here's a hot hunk of men who want me in before I could think about what my mama told me about the birds and the bees and how cowboys won't stay long. But I met my hubby in a honky tonk.
The flexibility of this as a unit for tone shaping, in addition to just being a great 76 style compressor, that's what's really unique to me about this unit. A lot of boxes and a lot of tools out there claim to be great for tone shaping, and a lot of times that's very, very subtle tone shaping. This one, it's not subtle. You can get some wild colors out of it. It's really cool. Now, to power these two units, Quagliardi had some thoughtful takes on what a 500 series chassis should be, so let's talk about it. First up, the Power Grid Duo. This 2-slot 500 series chassis fits right into any standard 1U rack. With an over-engineered power supply, it can deliver a generous 2 amps of clean power in total, 1 amp per slot, which is almost 6 times what a standard 500 series module consumes. It supports any standard 500 series module with recessed slots for a secure fit. Additionally, it features per slot ground lifts to eliminate hum on either channel individually, and thoughtfully, it features a feed switch allowing you to create signal chains internally without any patch cables. Now, I really like this because in a way, it turns it into a channel strip. If you have one side is a pre and the next side is a compressor or an EQ, now you've got a channel strip out of 500 series modules, and it's all in one U rack, which is really cool. Finally, it has a power button on the front, and I really like this because there's plenty of times where I'm just doing admin or maybe editing a video here, and I don't need all my other studio pieces burning through power. I know it's really common in major commercial studios to just leave everything on all the time, but I'm not doing that amount of work every day that it makes sense to do that. So, I want to save on my electric bill here. And yeah, having power switches is really great. Not all of my pieces have that either. Like some of the vintage stuff just stays on all the time. So I have those on separate firmins that I can just leave off. Because of where this power grid is located in my studio here, this is on the top firmin here. And so obviously I would like to be able to power it on and off individually. So that's really nice. Okay, next up is the Portable Power Grid 2. This essentially offers everything the Power Grid Duo offers. However, its format is exclusively 2 500 series slots wide and obviously stands upright. And one thing that differentiates this from the Power Grid Duo is that it was designed to be powered by 12 volts so that it can supply the necessary power to just the 2 units here. All that means is that the power supply is a lot smaller, making it perfect to take with you on the road. Keeping that portability thought in mind, it also comes with a sleek padded fabric enclosure, which again can be seen featured in my earlier producer kit video, so be sure to check that out. Last up, for the power user here, Quagliardi designed the Power Grid 10. Now this mammoth carries forward a few analog design choices from its smaller relatives, and the term flexibility comes to mind. It features 10 slots, and it's capable of delivering up to 2,000 milliamps of current per voltage rail. And on the back of the Power Grid 10, you'll find XLR, TRS, and DB25 connections for inputs and outputs. Again, flexibility comes to mind. If you don't have XLRs, you can use TRS. If you don't have TRS, you can use DB25. Additionally, you'll find individual ground lift controls for each channel and feed switches to take care of both ground loops and build fast daisy chains without extra patch cables. Again, they're kind of carrying that design thought process forward. Finally, and gratefully, there's also a power switch on the front of that unit as well. I love power switches, but again, it's not always a design choice by every designer, but I'm glad that this one includes that. All right, continuing our pro audio journey, we're now going to discover the Colorbox DI. And what makes this DI stand out is its ode to its name. Now, the Colorbox is a passive direct box that's equipped with 2 Quagliardi transformers. So while it functions as a DI, it also carries the sonic character of the Quagliardi line, using the same transformers found in their preamps and compressors. Now, while you're not going to drive these transformers like you might in the 501 Pre, simply having transformers in your signal path will give you a sonic edge versus any DI without them, especially if you're taking your sound on the road. Finally, the Qlifter. The Qlifter is a compact, powerful FET inline amplifier designed to give your dynamic or ribbon microphones a clean 25 decibel signal boost. It's perfect for the low sensitivity mics like the Shure SM7B or the Electro Voice RE20, improving your signal to noise ratio without adding any unwanted color. I'm sure if you've used the SM7B, you really know that you need to dime the preamp, and when you do that, you're bringing up all the preamp noise, especially if you're on like a stock interface pre, right? I did also do a quick test on this in the producer kit video. So again, if you're curious, be sure to check that out. All right, check 1, 2, 3. This is the SM7B style mic, the SD1 Universal Audio. Cool sounding mic, but let's jump into console. I'll show you a few things. So in console here, you can see that I've pretty much dimed this mic pre itself. Here's 65 dB of gain, and I'm about an inch away from the mic. You can see in the bottom of your screen here, and you can start to hear some noise. So yeah, it's completely dimed, and you can start to hear some noise. Now I'm right on the mic, and we're at 50 dB of gain, and so I'm using a lot of gain to speak right into this mic. It's very low sensitivity. Check. No gain. Check. Okay, look, and there we go. We're now at 24 dB of gain, and it's much cleaner, less preamp noise, etc. Qlifter, really cool. Largely essential if you use one of these style mics, because you can just get such a clean pre-sound and plenty of level. Now the final piece of kit to talk about isn't really a physical piece of kit. It's actually a plugin, and a really cool plugin that they've relaunched. They kind of did a soft launch at NAMM in 2025, but you can get your hands on the light version currently. I think the full version is releasing soon, so let's check it out real quick. Okay, so this is the BoomBlender Lite, and basically this is a amalgamation of both their 501 Pre and the 576 kind of all together in one creative, simple, easy to use plugin. It's aimed at just getting all of the cool analog character and mojo that you would kind of get out of both units, but you do it all in one, simple GUI, and you don't really use it the same way you would the real piece of gear. It's totally its own kind of approach to a plugin, and it's really cool. It features resizable GUI, which is nice. We'll kind of just go through and demo this just really quick and dirty on some drums, just to really show you what what it does, right? In the light version, you have just soft harmonics or no harmonics that you can engage on and off here. In the full version, again, you're going to be able to select through warm and hot harmonics. It does feature oversampling as well, but again, in the light version, you're kind of limited to just 2 times. And then stereo or mid-side mode, which will be available in the full release. And then you have 2 different options. You have the boom mode or the leveler mode. The leveler mode is going to act a little bit more like just a standard compressor. It does have tooltips as well. So with this tooltip here, it's telling us what the different types of modes do. So boom is basically a model of the boom feature found on the 576 compressor, which again, we talked about is kind of like a compander. So when any signal goes below the threshold, it's expanding up, and then above the threshold, it's compressing down. So it sounds really cool. So we're gonna demo these out real quick. First, let's just start with this totally out so you guys can hear it. Simple beat, okay? That's important. Okay, let's bring it in. Like that subtle harmonic lift is everything to me, guys. Like I just love that you can throw that on and you are getting just this subtle enhancement in that harmonic content. I seriously love that. Now I'd imagine if we could choose between warm and hot, like obviously that would start to sound a lot more like just pure distortion, but it's cool to hear that immediate difference. I like that. All right, let's start to dial in some compression here. We can basically just go from nothing to everything, and let's do that. I mean, that's really, really amazing sounding to me because that sounds like analog gear. That 100% sounds like analog gear. And I don't know how they're doing this modeling because it does sound like their compressor, which is also, I mean, you'd expect it, right? It's a model of it, but it still always amazes me when plugins model it to a T, and this does that, so it's really neat. Now, I don't have any control over the settings, the attack and release, but it's still cool that I can use this to get that kind of analog mojo out of a compressor. And of course, I can always just dial it back, and in the full version, if we had snap, that would kind of help us a bit. And then obviously the different types of boom options there too would give us some variety in terms of the attack and release. But let's dial this back and see if we can kind of come to a cool landing spot. That's pretty sweet, right? You can get some length on the snare, get a little bit of pop, get a little bit more oomph, and you're still retaining the transients because you're using the dry wet blend, which is cool. Now let's take a look at the boom mode. So you can really, really hear that going out of hand there. Now, I'd imagine that's because under the hood, they're expecting your signal level to come in at a certain range, right? It might be negative 18 dB full scale. Obviously, my signal is not coming in there. It's on the drum bus. The drums are already loud. So that's why we're kind of going crazy with it. And I don't see that there's really a way to change your in-out balance here. So again, this is kind of like a creative plugin to get like character. That's what I see this BoomBlender as. And then of course, the main knob here is this dry wet blend. So like that should be your visual cue to understand that BoomBlender, blend it dry wet. I think that they're really going for like, let's get the analog tone and let's get the analog sound and sprinkle it in, find the sweet spot. Because the whole point here is to go heavy-handed and use this to kind of blend it in. So anyways, that's just my take on it. Of course, it sounds amazing. It sounds incredibly analog, and this is free, so you guys can go and get this today. And whenever they do release the full version, just subscribe because you know I'm going to be talking about that as well. So that's the full lineup from Quagliardi Audio. Let me know your favorite piece of kit from Quagliardi in the comments below. Each piece brings something thoughtful and deliberate to the pro audio table, and together creates a seriously powerful toolkit for recording and mixing. If you enjoyed this brand spotlight and want to see more content like it, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe and leave a comment. In the meantime, if you're looking to level up your own skills, check out my new vocal and mixing courses at thestevekinney.com. Finally, to learn more about Quagliardi Audio and get your hands on any of the gear I showed today, head over to quagliardiaudio.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. See you in the next video. Cheers. Okay, as we get started with these examples, just keep in mind that I'm pushing this thing to the extreme to really show the full scope of what's possible with this unit with respect to the expansion, as well as pushing the dynamics. You know, I'm going way too far on either side of the coin. So, you know, keep that in mind. Some of them are a little out of context. Like I was fooling around a lot of times with like the boom feature and dry wet blends just to really show the way that the circuit kind of works, especially with respect to the expansion. I'm more so just demonstrating in these sound examples how far you can take it. So enjoy the examples and let me know what you think in the comments.
wedding band. Got to party with our rowdy friends and seal it all with a kiss. Here's our two-step and tall glass of water, honey, I wanna drink. Here's our hot hunk of minute of me in before I could think. About what my mama told me about the birds and the bees and how cowboys won't stay long. But I met my hubby, I met my hubby in a honky tonk. I met my hubby, I met my I got the diamond on my left hand. We booked a redneck wedding band. Got to party with our rowdy friends and seal it all with a kiss. Here's our two-step and tall glass of water, honey, I wanna drink. Here's our hot hunk of minute of me in before I could think. About what my mama told me about the birds and the bees and how cowboys won't stay long. But I met my hubby, I met my hubby in a honky tonk. I met my hubby, I met my hubby, I met my hubby. He freaking loves me. I met my hubby, I met my hubby in a honky tonk. Yeah. Here's a two-step and tall glass of water, honey, I wanna drink. I got the diamond on my left hand. We booked a redneck wedding band. Got to party with our rowdy friends and seal it all with a kiss. Here's our two-step and tall glass of water, honey, I wanna drink. Here's our hot hunk of minute of me in before I could think. About what my mama told me about the birds and the bees and how
Yeah, I'm doing it. Camera audio, guys. Hopefully it sounds okay. Roast me in the comments all day. Yeah, here's the thing. I wanted to talk about bass for a split second because first off, I'm going to use it to kind of show you some of the quote color. Really, in this case, I'm just distorting it, flat out distortion. But I think it sounds so good that I wanted to just emphasize it, right? So check this out. This is just kind of straight in. This makes an immense difference on bass, and it's really cool. Check it out. I'm not a bassist. I'm just kind of lugging something here. You can start to hear that distortion happen, and it sounds really cool. If I overload it there. All right, now let's do the XREL. I mean, that's sick.